Thank you for being a part of the program. It's Friday and the 7th day of February, and it's shaping up to be another wintry weekend. Imagine that. Can you believe it? We've got snow in the forecast? Well, indeed. I'm trying to make the best of it. Indeed, we do. Another grazing, if you will, of some snowfall tonight, and throughout most of the forecast period. We've got more days with a chance of snow than we don't. Temperatures peak at 40 degrees. That's the highest of any day of the forecast period, and that will be very short-lived. And we've got, yes, one round of snow after another. No big winter weather makers, but just enough to possibly wreak a lot of havoc with school systems. Schedules again next week. On that note, just a brief update from last night's report. The Gulf County Board of Education did discuss spring break and the future thereof this school year in last night's special session. Some indictments returned yesterday by a McGoffin County grand jury, and confirming what eyewitnesses reported to us in a helicopter crash here in the eastern Kentucky and viewing area. And we have got basketball games nearly over as far as the regular season schedule is concerned. In fact, one of the home teams only has one more home game left. March Madness is going to be here before you know it. And there's a big game in store tonight. I'll let you know about it or remind you about it right before I head out to it in just a few moments. As for your weather, well, guess what? Another round of light snow to affect the region late tonight into your Saturday morning and afternoon. An upper level disturbance approaching the region from the west late tonight and then crossing our area tomorrow morning will bring a quick hitting round of light snow to the region. Around an inch of snow expected. But as we've seen, it takes even less than that to cause some problems. There will be no school in McGoffin County tomorrow. That's a given. And a lot of folks will be home from work, hopefully. So maybe not as big of an issue over the course of the weekend. We will, of course, though, see more chances thereof next week. Some lingering snow chances throughout most all of the forecasts. I'll get to that. In other news, though, before we get to local headlines, all of this snow, as you have heard here in the program, as we referred to from the mayor's office here in Sagersville, as they dealt with a shortage on a few occasions, is indeed causing some salt shortages. I thought it was interesting that the State Transportation Cabinet referred to it as a robust winter season. That's probably putting it politely, but nevertheless, the winter season has had a great deal of precipitation, more so than average, obviously, and now they're looking at ways to conserve salt, and they're going to back up and then try to depend more on plowing than salting roads because salt is just starting to become scarce. Less than 150,000 tons of salt on hand to deliver to our roads, but delivery to the state and reserves is becoming increasingly difficult to get their hands on. When conditions permit, crews are going to rely more on plowing and less on treating our roads with salt and other materials. On average, the cabinet uses anywhere from 200 to 250,000 tons of salt a year. So far, they've used 300,000 tons, and we've still got quite a bit of winter to go. Salt reserves across Kentucky everywhere are dwindling. Even the state's largest reserve, what's called the Louisville Mega Cavern, has been deeply tapped. They began this winter with a 60,000-ton emergency reserve inside the Mega Cavern, and as of today it was down to 26,000 tons, and the 12 districts of the Department of Highways collectively have requested 18,000 tons of that reserve with which to replenish their supplies, which is getting close to the zero mark. Now, the salt shortage also means that, of course, as we saw here in Sagersville, the state is having to reserve their salt and conserve, and that means that local governments like city and county governments are not being able to get it as well. On to state government. New motor vehicle dealers that set up tent sales across the Commonwealth would have to be licensed and insured in the future if they want to conduct those temporary sales events in another dealer's market area under a bill that passed the State House today by a vote of 92-1. It's House Bill 169, under which, and sponsored by House Transportation Committee Chairman Hubie Collins of Whitensville, new motor vehicle dealers can hold tent sales in that market if they are licensed, bonded, and insured in the temporary location. Dealers who are self-insured would be exempt from the proposed insurance requirements in the bill. Used motor vehicle dealers would be allowed to hold tent sales in those counties where they are licensed with no problem, says Collins. He also says that for a long time the automobile dealers have had a problem with other dealers coming in from other areas and having what they call tent sales, leaving those dealers to have to take care of warranties and other problems that they left behind. They're trying to fix that, he says. The state's hourly minimum wage increase is now getting a little ground. It would increase for the first time since 2009 under a bill that passed the House by vote. A narrow victory for it, 54-44 today, under House Bill 1, sponsored by House Speaker Greg Stumbo of Prestonsburg. Kentucky's minimum wage would increase in increments from the current $7.25 an hour up to $10 and a dime. The bill calls for the minimum wage to rise to $8.20 an hour this year, $9.15 in July of 2015, before topping out at $10.10 an hour in 2016. It would also require Kentucky workers to be paid equal wages for equal work, regardless of sex, race, or national origin. The bill was amended by the House, though, to exempt employees of what Stumbo referred to mom-and-pop businesses, small businesses, for example, which have a gross sales of $500,000 or less, would be exempt from the minimum wage. And a bill that would prohibit smoking in public places around Kentucky and places of employment passed today. It passed and made its way through the House Health and Welfare Committee, and there are arguments to both sides of the issue. For one example, State Representative Julie Adams of Louisville, who is co-sponsoring the legislation with another representative, that being Susan Westrom of Lexington, who says that, "I do think that it's an issue that shows Kentucky is making progress towards living healthier lives and opening their economic development to new opportunities." Some opponents of the legislation, meanwhile, say that they consider it a government overreach, saying that, quote, for example, Tim Moore of Elizabethtown, "I think this is too far-reaching and impacts people's liberty and freedom to do something that is still legal in the state and nation." The bill, though, does now go on to the House for its consideration. I'll go to a break and be right back.
Check out our daily specials that get even better after 4 p.m. only at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. Saturday's the day we like it a little hot and spicy with our 20-piece box of wings, only $6.99, or only $5.99 after 4 p.m. Or you can make it a hot and spicy meal deal with 10 wings, your choice of 2 homemade sides and a biscuit, for just $4.69 or $3.99 after 4 o'clock. Only at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe. And Sunday's a day unlike any other day at Lee's with our Sunday special. That's right, chicken and dumplings and cobbler for just $4.49. $3.99 at 4 o'clock. Only at your Sagersville Lee's Famous Recipe.
Yeah, Phil. I reckon I'll take my pig back.
Ain't your pig.
Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is, and I can prove it. Ma, I just sent a picture of our missing pig. Tell everybody it's time to start feuding.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I guess ain't gonna be no feud. Real nice picture, though.
Well, put it on Instagram.
Appalachian Wireless's 4G. Great pictures, video, text, and talk. Bigger savings, better service. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
The New Year's sales event rolls on at Conley's with 3.99% and up to $1,000 in rebates on new Polaris's. Kawasaki's got 3.95% or save up to $1,500 in cash. And just in, Polaris Power digital inverter generators, ultra quiet and ultra affordable at Conley's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville. Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
There are some new numbers out there that go to reaffirm what some other folks have been saying since the race began, and actually a bit before that, talking about one of the most closely watched races on the November ballot, and that will be that of Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell and Secretary of State Allison Lundigan Grimes.
The Courier-Journal said just today that Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is 4 points behind that of Secretary of State Grimes in the United States Senate race, 46 to 42%, according to their latest Bluegrass poll they published today. And according to the poll, it says McConnell's biggest hurdle might be McConnell. Only 27% of Kentuckians holding a favorable opinion of the incumbent. And McConnell's job approval rating here in the Commonwealth, well, it is even worse than that of President Barack Obama, who, of course, decidedly lost in Kentucky in both election bids, 2008 and 2012. They actually gave Obama a slightly higher approval rating, 34%, to that of McConnell's 32%.
Report tonight that is a reaffirmation of sorts is that from the NTSB, which confirms what eyewitnesses told me on that day of the incident and what I reported to you that very evening. The National Transportation Safety Board now says that indeed it was a utility wire that caused the crash of a DEA helicopter in Breathitt County last July.
And it wasn't just the fact that there was an old abandoned electrical wire that literally ran from ridge to ridge, as I told you that day. It was also the fact that it was not marked, nor had it been reported to the Federal Aviation Administration to be included in any type of a chart that will be used by pilots who may be in this area, like the pilot of the DEA helicopter and that of the Kentucky State Police Trooper passenger, both of which were scouting the area looking for marijuana as part of an eradication effort this past July. Both men survived the fiery crash. The passenger may have been able to escape just at or just a split second before the impact. Meanwhile, the pilot was still inside the crash, and with those who lived nearby assisting as well as help from the trooper, they were able to get him out and to safety before the craft completely burned. The report also confirmed that the craft was at an altitude of a few hundred feet when it came into contact with the old electrical wire that used to service the abandoned mining operation, and that the helicopter was actually equipped with, as many are, blades at two different levels to sever any lines should they come into contact with them. However, in this particular instance, this particular helicopter struck just above one of those blades as it was flying over top of this particular area of Breathitt County, causing it to crash into a fire that would fortunately spare the lives of those on board. From there, we'll turn over to tonight's community calendar brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau. And if you like birthdays, you're going to like this one. And that's because I got a bunch of them. And we start off tonight with a special birthday wish. Happy 26th birthday to Joseph Perkins. Love, family, and friends. They want to wish you the best. Happy birthday, Joseph. Happy birthday, Tiana Kilgore. It's Tiana's birthday. Actually, I'm told Tiana celebrated her 9th birthday yesterday. We hope you're still celebrating today. With a lot of love from Mama, Mom, and Dad, family, and friends. Happy birthday, Tiana. Happy birthday to Yvonne Hager. A happy birthday wish from Deb, Matt, Lakota, Chloe, friends and family. Her birthday is Sunday, everybody. Happy birthday to you. And happy birthday, Sherry Lynn Howard. This comes from your husband, your son, your grandbaby, family, friends, and I'm sure a whole lot of folks down at North McGoffin Elementary as well. Happy birthday, everybody. And just a couple of quick reminders on tonight's community calendar. This Monday is the photography workshop, tips and tricks on how to shoot photographs indoors and at large events as well. And it's going to be 6 o'clock at the McGoffin County Extension Office. You can call Monday early if you have any questions, 349-3216. And I'll check in with Leola Cole and kind of get an idea, but I know the deadline's quickly approaching. So if you've been putting it off, put it off no further. If you've got any old eyeglasses that you just don't use, good shape, great shape, whatever, drop them off at the McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center. They're going to be collected and then sent to some folks who have no other means of just simply getting them but desperately need them. Another eyeglass drive from our friend Leola Cole. We'll let you know how it turns out. Hopefully great with your help. And this is just a quick reminder. This is how you get announcements just like those in the program. And as you saw, we love birthdays and anniversaries as well. And as always, it's free. Attention candidates, for whatever you want to get your name and message on, shirts, caps, pins, matches, cozies, and more, call Avavian Deaton, and she can tell you about her campaign special. That's 72 caps and 24 t-shirts delivered to your door for a limited time low price of just $3.99. Call Avavian, 349-3835. It's definitely the pie that sets it apart from everything you've ever known, tasted, or loved about a Reese's Cup or a DQ Blizzard. Real Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, creamy vanilla soft serve, and a real crunchy graham pie crust that gives it the texture and taste you'll never forget. But hurry, because it's the Blizzard of the Month at your Sagersville Dairy Queen. From time and money-saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Sagersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Sagersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time. Always the best selection of hand-picked, quality, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all with the service, prices, and financing aimed at making sure you drive off with the deal and vehicle you've been looking for. Premier Motors in Paintsville, 297-4121.
Hi, I'm Don McFarland. I'm an attorney in Sayersville, Kentucky. I'm here to serve you and meet your legal needs. If your family or loved ones get in trouble, or if trouble comes to your door, then it's always good to have a friendly face that you can call on. So please, give me a call. I've been here my entire life. I was born here. I was raised here. I grew up here. I have a family here. I've been practicing law here in Sayersville since 1994. So when you have times of trouble and times of pain, then pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne. 349-9000.
Not a great deal to add this evening, but just a bit in regards to what I passed along to you last evening in regards to the school calendar for McGoffin County Schools, which, as I told you last evening, was going to be a topic of discussion during a special session of the McGoffin County Board of Education last night, specifically spring break, to keep or not to keep.
And while that was the question, there was no official action taken. This was the calendar as I presented to you yesterday, which was Thursday the 6th. And it depicted how we had been out 16 days here in McGoffin County. Some school districts seeing more, some seeing less. How McGoffin County students have only been in 8 days since they got out for Christmas break on December the 20th of last year. There's how many days other area schools have missed. Well, I didn't make it to the meeting. It was over before I could get free from another event that I was covering. But I can tell you this. Minutes reflect the fact that they did discuss it, and there was just no action taken. As of right now, the general consensus was we don't miss any more days. Well, it will be an issue, I think, and they'll keep spring break in the school calendar. Well, that is just simply a wait and see. As of right now, we are scheduled to get out not on the 27th, as X marks the spot, but on May the 28th is the last day for students. While spring break is still in the McGoffin County Schools calendar, set for April the 7th through the 11th. So as of right now, you can still make those plans if you're going to try to squeeze in maybe a little time away, a brief vacation, or a little jaunt. But I wouldn't do anything that you can't get a refund for.
A sitting McGoffin County grand jury has returned. I have 3 drug-related indictments which were returned by them on yesterday. All 3, as I said, drug-related, all 3 for individuals who reside outside of McGoffin County.
And if I'm not mistaken, all 3 related to traffic stops made on the Mountain Parkway by Trooper Rodney Pratt and Sayersville Police Officer Mike Nichols. The first was that of 21-year-old Derek Crabtree of Dante, Virginia, who was indicted for charges that he was charged with on or around September of last year, on the 30th day of the month, when he was indicted on felony charges of possession of a controlled substance in the first degree, methamphetamine being the drug in question. 2 other individuals in separate incidents and separate times, also we believe related to traffic stops in the Mountain Parkway and through Sagersville. Gurney's Ray Hall of Nicholasville, indicted on charges of trafficking in a controlled substance in the first degree, a Class D felony, and trafficking in a controlled substance, which was an anabolic steroid, in the second degree. Now, that was also a Class D felony, both related to items that he had on his person on around the 9th day of October of last year. And finally, this evening, the last of the 3 is that of Commonwealth of Kentucky versus John Fields of the Lexington area. He indicted on a charge of trafficking in a controlled substance in the first degree, first offense, that too a Class D felony, trafficking in a substance. That substance was said to have been cocaine, a quantity of less than 4 grams, which was discovered either in his possession or on his person, but possessing with the intent to distribute or sell.
And it's hard to imagine that March Madness is literally just around the corner. A little close to that, on a local level, high school basketball seasons are winding down. In fact, McGoffin County Hornets, for the boys, they've only got 8 games on the schedule. Only 4 home games, and only 1 home game left for the Lady Hornets.
Yeah, can you believe it? The boys just have 8 games left. They've got 4 home games, the last on Valentine's Day, and then 4 away games. Now, keep in mind, the next 4 games in a row are all those home games. The last 4 on their schedule will be on the road. So that means you've got kind of a narrow window to take in the rest of the action. And you also can, if you're watching the early show, if you want to hurry, catch the action tonight. Now, the boys are hosting Johnson Central at 7:30, and if it's a fraction of what the game was the other night that I showed you the highlights from the Lady Hornets taking on Johnson Central here at home, we're in for one tonight. But nevertheless, they are at 11-10 right now on the season. That was after their win, most recently going back over Eastridge on the 30th. But after that, they suffered a loss at the hands of Sheldon Clark, 70-46. As for the Lady Hornets, it was last for them, a win over Pikeville, 65-36. They're still sitting well atop 15th Region Girls Basketball at 18-4. They've got 5 games left in their schedule, only 1 home game. That's the very last game on February the 21st. A little closer to this, they'll be at Sheldon Clark in action next on Monday. Heading over to Paintsville and the Tigers, their last game, a loss to Johnson Central, 55-78. The boys of Paintsville and head coach Bill Runyon sitting at 7-13 on the season. They're hosting Prestonsburg on this Monday. The Lady Tigers, a loss to Russell in their last contest, 42-49. They're at 12-9 though on the season. They are at Sheldon Clark this evening at 7:30. The Golden Eagles and head coach Tommy McKenzie and his boys, 78-55 win over Paintsville, as I just kind of referred to there. But they're at 14-6 and 6-1 in the district. And they're, of course, as I just said, well, they're at McGoffin County at 7:30 tonight. The Lady Golden Eagles, a loss to Boyd County by 3, 65-68. That puts them at 13-10. That puts them hosting Powell County tomorrow night. And for the Cougars, Coach Matthew Perry and his troops, if you will, 45-42, a win over Greenup County in their last contest, 13-7. They're hosting Nicholas tomorrow night, and the Lady Cougars a big win last over Pike County Central, 54-23. That puts them at 10-8, and they're hosting West Carter tonight at 7:30. And that puts me with just a couple of moments. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to miss tip-off for the Hornet basketball game tonight. Highlights will be a good thing to watch on Monday. I just about guarantee it. Now, we didn't go very far today, temperature-wise. Not very far at all. 24 a low, 29 for a high. That's how much ground we covered, but it's been calm so far. Cloudy skies have hung tight, and we're right now faced with another chance of some snow possible. That threat to the tune during the overnight hours of about a half-inch of the white stuff. And that will be mainly after 4 a.m. for most of us, so we've still got a little ways away, but flurries and some snow showers during the overnight that will continue into your early Saturday. There it is, 36 and 26. Look for some snow mainly before noon. Calm winds, precipitation chances, pretty much a sure thing, 80%. We will see new snow accumulation of another less than 1 inch tomorrow. So we are talking about a solid inch possible, I believe, across the board for a lot of us. And that will be with temperatures tonight, of course, falling down to the low 20s again. Certainly enough to cause some travel issues again tomorrow. But we're all getting a lot of practice on it nowadays, aren't we? Sunday will not see freezing, I don't think. We'll be lucky to see 29 degrees, mostly cloudy, 16 for the low. And guess what? Another little shot of some snow before noon, changing over to a little rain in the middle, and then maybe back to a chance of snow Sunday night. Hold your applause. Monday, another slight chance of snow before noon, and then snow continue in the afternoon, a little lighter, but partly sunny, and a daytime high of only 29. Temperatures not going anywhere, a low of 16 degrees. Tuesday of next week, 32, a chance of snow. Wednesday, 36, a chance of rain and snow. Thursday, 40, a chance of rain and snow. And Friday, a chance of, rain and snow with a high of about 38. Each and every single day in the forecast period has a chance of snow. and there's some rain, and there's some other things in there, but it's not going anywhere, folks. February looks to be relentless and keep on hammering at us with one little shot of snow after another. That's it for now. As I sometimes say, that's my time. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Have a warm and safe weekend. Go Hornets. We'll see you back here Monday for more of your news today. Good night.